Korea.
I asked you where babies come from.
My neighbor's got theirs from Korea.
You said it was time for a hard talk.
Yeah,
Roll.
the second question is, what kind of babies?
Yeah.
This is various charts depending on the baby.
Moonboy's solving this problem right now with the reincarnation.
You see, boys are from the moon.
Wait, she's gonna get reincarnated as a baby?
From a different moon.
Oh my god,
this
goat
a-
baby? That's pretty
Is
cute.
this a
I do not
group
want to do
situation?
baby goat.
This is
I am goat.
Jordan's been lobbying for
Marion.
Muppet BTH, like Muppet Babies BTH for a
Muppet
long time. And
Babies,
so
BTH
this is how I
babies.
fulfill
We
it
have
for
to
you.
all be babies. That's how it
Question
works.
in chat says, are we live?
We are
Are we live?
live. We are. We're going.
We are currently live. Yes,
Holy
we
moly.
This is
I
how we
don't
start.
know-
We start
yeah, I
just
don't know
talking
if the
about
Players
babies.
know that we're live.
No.
But we definitely
Now we
are.
know.
Now we're
live
talking
and
about
rolling.
I knew
Yeah.
when you asked me to repeat my question, I knew. You think you're
I
so
knew.
sneaky. You think you're so sneaky.
Caught us mid-riff,
So
as
hot.
always. Scared the cat. Hey, everybody.
That was
This
a
is
Mid-riff.
episode.
Us.
This is. Sorry, that is a cat comment. This is episode 7 of Arc 5 of Better Than Heroes. If you're new to our stream, welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm Rachel Weeks, and I play Klik, the level 13 Kreen fighter.
I'm Andrew Ovredahl, and I play Flute, aka the Windrider, a human bard warlock.
I'm Jordan Dahl, and I play the Moonboy, a level 13 Moonboy.
My name's Aaron Urist.
This is Jordan Dahl reporting from the Moonboy. Sorry.
It's okay. My name's also Jordan Dahl, and I
Stop.
play Aaron Urist, who
Wait.
plays. That would be funny if you guys found out I was just one of Jordan's most advanced characters.
One of my voices given form.
I am Cursed AI from Beyond the Black Wall. My name's Aaron Urist, and I play K.A.I Hammerstein, the Artificer.
I'm Harlan Kelly. I'm the dungeon master of this game, and I play Goliathan, Goat, Relic, Cobble,
Say 'em all.
Dingham
Keep
Nidris,
going.
all of them, Arugula,
Well, wait.
the Honey Moss Dwarf.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Mallocation.
Wow,
Various
what a
pirates.
callback, Andrew. Where did you pull that from, Al?
Whoa, Mallocation.
Why are you thinking about Mallocation?
I don't know,
Various,
just popped in my head.
various
I love it.
hordes of things. That's another thing Harlan plays.
Groups of
Buzz
fish.
Snorg.
Yeah, groups of
Oozes.
Bippo,
Fleshy
Bippo.
things.
Yeah, Zeppo, Buppo,
The
Jumpo.
Burbalang, whatever his name
Yeah,
was.
actually,
yeah.
let's just for the fun of it, who can name the most obscure NPC in this game? And you have to actually name their name.
Can I look at notes?
I just said Mallocation.
Yeah, are we allowed
that was
to
a
look at their
Mallocation
notes?
was only in one.
Mallocation said in the bar.
Only
Yeah.
in one episode.
You can look at notes, but you had like 6 seconds to do it. So
All
Mallocation.
right, I've got a few. How about
Leather.
Andrew, hey, hold on to your victory right now. You're holding the bar.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
In my 6 seconds, I found leather.
Leather's good. Leather's good.
Okay, I got one. The arc on Firmaregna, her name was Riparia.
Riparia.
That's
Ooh,
pretty
that's a good
good.
one. That's a good one.
That's pretty good.
Chat, you all are the judge of this. So if you all can decide who wins here in a second. Moonboy, you got one?
What about Moss?
Swan. His name is Swan.
Swan, damn
But
it.
he was a moss, man.
was
I got
a
it
moss.
backwards.
A little more confidence than I would have believed you.
I believe me was the problem.
How about Ute, Lou, Brune, Darsa, Rosto, Tupa, Mula, Tour, or Gorg? How about those?
Who are they?
My
Who are they,
fish,
Andrew?
my fish folk buddies.
No, he doesn't get those. He made those names up.
Yeah, that sounds like bullshit.
You made those names up.
That might be true. That might be true.
Might be.
Okay.
have
Their
no
names are
idea.
Dupa,
Thank you for my
Flupa, Poopa,
improv
and Scoopa,
contest.
Harlan.
Let us know who the winner is in the chat, and then Rachel, please shut me
Horrendous
up.
planche.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
That's
that's
a
a
good one.
really
But
good one.
that was
Pretty good.
I'm trying to remember what that actually was.
That was Gregory Punch's
It's
original.
That's his real name. That's his real
true
name. Yeah, it was Corundus
Corundus
Punch. It's very good. All right, hi. We're going to play some 5e Spelljammer D&D. Our show is live soundtracked by Jason Wardell, and it is brought to you by our patrons and our subscribers. So big thank you to everybody who financially supports the show. You guys make this show possible and cool and great. You're the best.
That's many of you.
Many of you. You help us pay all of our artists who do our maps and our characters and Jason, and you keep this stream cool. If you love the show and you want to see it grow, please consider supporting us in the following ways. You could join our Patreon. There's
I was like, shit, is that me?
No,
It kind of felt like a video was going to play.
Felt like it was me.
But listen to this clip. And the clip's just me in the same outfit. You can go to our Patreon, which has some cool perks. You can subscribe to the stream right here. You can pick up some cool Better Than Heroes merch. There's a new sticker. It says "Drink Pee" on it.
Wait, I can show it. I can show it to everybody. Ready? This is in our merch store, right, Rachel? Did it go up?
Yeah,
I believe
yeah,
so.
it's up.
Yeah,
There's
you ready
also
for
a
this?
mug that says "Drink Pee" on it.
Y'all ready for
Be the
this?
talk of the office with your drink pee mug.
Drink.
By the talk of the office, you mean a talk with your boss.
Yeah. You mean
A talk with your boffice. Yeah.
When they sit you down to talk about the
so
inappropriate stickers.
Fucking insane.
That's one thing to buy for yourself, but just stop putting on communal
Sticker
dishware.
tag your office with drink pee stickers.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
Put
pull
it
you
on.
aside.
I also
All the water bottles.
I want to shout
Yeah.
out. Look at this one more time. We had a long conversation about whether or not we should include that comma there.
Oh, yeah.
So
The comma's key.
Yeah.
I made it a little comma, but definitely the comma feels important.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
Who knows?
so important. That might be the
don't
most
know.
important comma in our entire outfit.
Just will say it wasn't there at first, and we had to do what your friends in recovery might call a fearless moral inventory.
Yeah. To be like, is this a command?
Are we commanding our listeners to drink urine?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool.
I'm team no comma because of design,
Yeah,
simplification.
I'm also team no comma. Maybe we should make an alt. Maybe we'll make an alt.
Let's make it. Let's make
For
it
the
all
brave and the bold, the brave and the bold,
That's a
no
good
commas, who can handle
Damn.
drink
Are
pee.
you comma or no comma?
Okay,
Sound
you
off in
can
the
get
chat.
this sticker and like snip off the comma.
Yeah.
If you could do a little bit of a manicure on it.
The coward's comma.
Yeah. Also, you can support the show on a variety of platforms. Excuse me. You can go on YouTube and follow us there. You can follow the podcast if you want to hear us, but not see us. Understandable. Or you can be here live like you are right now. Thank you so much for coming. We're here every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific.
We see you there.
We appreciate everything that you do to make this show what it is, including putting drink pee on all of your
It's going to be in a
car,
Yeah.
on
Legacy.
your water bottle,
on your dog,
on
on
your
your baby.
dog.
I love
time
the
to-
idea of somebody's
In the laughter
boss
of every
pulling them
child.
aside.
In every drop of piss.
But the
All
boss
right.
just wants to talk about BTH. They're like, oh my god, did you listen to
You a Better Than Heroes fan?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, you're not in trouble. I just want to talk. What do you think Goat's going to come back
I
as?
think it's funny, but we try to keep things pretty apolitical here at work, okay?
We're not trying to say the mind flayers are bad guys. All right.
What we really don't want to do is have people be approached by a genuine piss drinking community. Be like, which could a fellow piss drinker.
Gobble, gobble.
Tell them about the show. Just tell them about the show. Yeah.
Tell them about the show.
Yeah,
Tell
that's
them
what
about
we
the
need
show.
is genuine
right.
piss drinkers in
Hey,
the
man.
chat.
Hey,
Listener's a listener. We never throw one back.
don't shame on this channel. Let's.
Dear
I'm shaming
God,
piss drinkers.
let's play
I'm
some
shaming
D&D.
piss drinkers.
Piss drinkers.
What happened last week?
What if it's a sex thing?
All right, we're getting
Sorry.
we gotta do the
Jesus
recap. God
Christ.
damn it! Listen to Rachel.
Let's go. Yeah, Aaron,
It's for
what
sex,
happened
it's
last
okay,
week?
right? Sorry. Cleanse the piss from your minds and your bodies. It is
And
time to
mouths.
begin. Previously on Better Than Heroes, after destroying an astral dreadnought and releasing a crew of Githyanki trapped inside, the crew were busy trying to choose the best of many paths laid out before them. Malzor, freshly rescued, used his degree in Honeymoss dwarves to communicate with the Honeymoss dwarf the crew had found, who longed for death, but apparently not in a sad, check-in on your strongest friends kind of way. Speaking to the Gith, the party pressed for some hot deets about the undying queen, hoping to fall into an enemy of my enemy is my friend type of situation. Instead, it turned out that the enemy of our enemies was in fact just another worse enemy, with plans to nuke reality and use the ensuing savory roux to make an astral gumbo to attain godhood or do insider trading or whatever. With this in mind, the party refused to give the Gith a ride, and after a slight stare down, they agreed to seek a portal to their queen within the Azure Forge. After dropping them off, the crew decided to sick the Githyanki's own insane dragon on them, which felt deeply like the right move. Flute assembled a written account of the crew's exploits, a recap of sorts. A stupid idea. He left this record upon the elvish impersonator to set adrift. Klik said goodbye to her ship and her short-lived command, and the crew regrouped aboard the Dinger. Dingham Nidris agreed to give up his hot real boy body and become a chair again, and so, with the Azure Forge finally in the rear-view mirror, the Dinger shifted back to the material plane. What awaits us back in wild space? Good stuff? Perhaps cake? Can we bring back Goat now? Do you think she'll be okay with being reincarnated? What's the really long German word for the sensation of feeling like a dead person is mad at you? Have I done this joke before? Find out right now on Better Than Heroes.
Yes.
All right, we're back.
It's the most writing I've done in so long. It's the recap.
They're so
Very
good.
good.
We're gonna do this. I'm working on the supercut. If you all were hanging out before stream, there's the Arc 1 supercut exists. So I'm gonna play that before the show and work on the other arcs as well.
Cool. Love
Um,
that.
I know it's so weird listening to all of them all together because I was like, holy shit. Yeah.
I compiled just like all of the text, not even for all of it, just for most of it. And it's
Yeah.
the seasons 2 through 4 recaps, or it's like 60 pages.
Wow, crazy.
Isn't that incredible?
It's a lot.
JMP in the chat was talking to me one time. It's like, you should turn this into a novel at some point. And I was like, well, I mean, the recaps get close. Like, it's incredible. So,
For real.
okay, let's play some D&D. I got a lot to do tonight.
Yeah. Stop goofing around. Get
Terrifying.
serious.
Yeah, time to.
Shout out Harlan's hair. This is some truly A+ amazing hair.
It's
Coiffed.
just tucked into my headphones.
It is
Oh,
doing.
that's new.
But really well.
We don't know what that means.
Your hair is surfable.
Yeah, I like it.
Totally.
Very futuristic.
Good. Well, we're in space. So, you all feel this warp, feel this swirling effect on you. And you felt... That's perfect. Thank you, Jason Wardell, a.k.a. Jordan Dahl.
Thank
That
you.
was perfect. And you all have felt the feeling of going through portals. You felt the feeling of terminal speed, where it's like this pull forward, and portals are just kind of this melting feeling. But plane shifting, you feel the swirl. You feel your reality connect to another reality and open up, and it's like a swirl of realities on top of each other. It's a swirl of your body and being in two places at the same time as they connect and whoom, over. And you, as you feel yourself unwind, come back here on the material plane, it feels different immediately, and your whole body feels heavy for a moment. The gravity that before was just something that existed in your mind that held you to the ship is now very real, and you can kind of just feel the pull on your shoulders a little bit as you are standing on the deck of the Dinger again. And as you look around here, you can see the illuminated ceiling of the interior of the cavern of Jadorian. It is at the center of the planet garden, this archipelago of small planet, a planet that is basically an archipelago of planets that gets denser and denser the closer you go to the middle. And Jadorian's pretty down deep in there. And because of that, you all are in this humongous cavern that you have seen before. These canyons and caverns and canyons of Jadorian you see all around you. And off in the distance, you can see the spires sticking up on the large plateau that are the spires of Jadorian itself, the large wall as well. And you see a couple of what look like Spelljammer ships, but they're flat, floating in and around the plateau that the city of Jadorian is on itself. But your ship is just hovering there above some of the canyons that are the plains around Jadorian. And I would love for all four of you to roll a perception check real quick.
Let's start off right.
8.
Crit?
A critical fail. 6 altogether.
14.
Hang on a second. My dumb thing.
Kai, what'd you get?
8.
Great.
Yeah, 13.
13? Cool. You know that the city of Jadorian looks safe and secure. There doesn't seem to be any, it is this huge cavern, right? Like, and
Pirates.
you all came through in one, there's a couple of ways in here, but you all came through one specific entrance, which was the one that Slow Death guarded, the large green dragon. And so as the ship lands, you all kind of like look around, and there's just no threat to Jadorian existing right now. It actually seems pretty guarded with having ships in and around it. There's no large destroyed hole in the side of it of like ships trying to get in. There's no combat going on. And Klik, as you down here and you enter this new plane of existence, the first thing you do is make eye contact with the green dragon Slow Death. And she sits in the large entrance that you all came through into this cavern. You came through it, and she has the ability to like open and close this as well. And she's just sitting there in the open cavern, looking out, and you're maybe a mile away more, so you're very far away from her. But as you kind of come back to existence, the first thing you see is just her sitting there. And when the ship appears, she doesn't even seem to react. You just kind of see her nod and not move, and she just stays right there.
Can she see us?
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. She's looking right at you.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. We're back. Hey.
Yeah.
Moonboy pukes. No, I'm just kidding.
I meant to
Just
Moonboy
a
pukes
point
Lucky
of
Charms cereal. No matter what he eats, that's how it comes back up.
Wait, who gave you that?
I don't know.
The rider is like floating right next to you, Flute. Just like, sorry.
Piece of shit.
Yeah.
I get bored. I'm just trying to, play around with
We're
snacks.
having a contest to see who could get sickest. I
don't have a corporal form anymore, so-
so...
He loses.
Point of clarification. We're on the Jadorian side, not the slow death side, right?
Correct. Yeah. She's
We don't
just
have
kind
to
of
go
like
through her. Okay.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
just
yeah.
out there
yeah.
chilling.
You don't need to go past her. She's just kind of saying hello.
Hello.
And in a very far off, just like nodding, acknowledging. She knew that you all
Lurking.
would come back some point, and she just kind of nods and is sitting
Yeah.
there. Doesn't seem
Boy,
to
she's a
follow
lurker,
you.
huh?
You don't need to talk to her. You all can just head straight toward the city. But especially with the
Alert,
natural one,
alert.
you just see her and she sees you. Click.
Okay. Keep on
She wanna
rolling,
kill us
I
here?
guess. Pardon?
Slow death. Does she want to kill us like right now? She doesn't, right?
No, honestly.
No, we
So-
She
are
thinks we're going to hook her up with Florial, right?
L'Oreal, yeah.
Which,
Oh, yeah, that's right. The arrangement was
Yeah.
to make
which
an
given recent
introduction.
information, seems like even worse of an idea than it did before. Whatever. That wasn't even on my list of problems. That wasn't
It
even
was
on my
on
radar.
my list.
That's fair. I had
You were the one who
I
totally
made
imagine that's
forgotten.
pretty high
I
on
did,
yours.
yes.
I had
Yeah.
totally forgotten about that. Well, should we go to Jadorian?
Yeah.
We could go fight. We could go fight a dragon.
I think that's a problem for future heroes.
Nice, better
Oh,
ones.
jeez. I hope we can get someone better than us.
Yeah. Ugh.
All right. Well,
Cool. Yeah, so
Um,
the ship can just float up and above these canyons and fly toward it. And you see some of these Spelljammer ships floating around the city of Jadorian kind of move toward you as your presence is clearly known and scouted out. And you see some of these ballistas that have been repaired on the edges of the city walls are aimed towards you, but there's a quick recognition as you see these large flat ships that look like a large crescent blade with a straight path coming back off of them. They look like flying Githkas come up on either side of you, flank you, and you see some
Good.
Kreen aboard, like waving to you all as all these Kreen are like woofing around the top part of the ships, because you can see on this like large blade out front in the crescent part of it, there are two weapons that seem to be two like ballista shooters that seem to be attached to either side of the crescent part of the blade, and one in the back as well, at the very like butt of the hilt, as they're manned by Kreen. But they're just like floating next to you as they clearly recognize who you are, and your ship is able to fly up over the walls of the city of Jadorian and lay themselves down on the inner ring. And you can see that the city has been built back up in a lot of ways. There was a lot of destruction that happened in the war itself when you all sieged it, and they seem to have been built back up, especially these spires toward the middle of the city. And your ship lands down where previously the ships of the Arcane and the ships of the Meridian Track landed, kind of in this these mud and ponds of a landing area for different types of ships. And the Dinger sits itself softly down into one of these large pools of water, and you see this crowd of people, all these Kreen and skull goblins and skull cyclops and many other folks just like mixed in. It seems like there's just been many other folks from all over that have started to take refuge in Jadorian, start to gather around as they recognize the famous ship, the famous golden ship known as the Dinger, that your crew, they know that your crew mans. And as a plank is set down on the side there, you all can see from the crowd there is folks that kind of like push their way up toward the front, and you see Aldous, this floating large-headed blue dude who you met on Mingabwe, whose psionic message you met on the astral plane. And you see Auntie Rabakash, this like old, kind of slightly hunched shoulders, but still standing very
that would have
tall
been a
and
good
proud.
one.
Yeah,
For the contest.
Say again?
Good.
Oh, Auntie Rabakash.
That would have been a good one for the obscure NPC contest.
Absolutely. Yeah, it would have been Auntie Rabakash. Yeah.
So good.
And like she stands up just like beaming kind of with her large antenna, like feeling all around. And you see Gluck, this like young one-eyed Kreen who seems to just be like draped in all of these robes and is floating a little bit off the ground.
What?
As he's next to Auntie Rabakash.
Yeah, he got
and of
powers.
course, you see Buzz Snorg, who like kind of like wobbles his way up too, and he like waves at you, the Skull Goblin King. And
Hello.
I do not. Moonboy does not remember Gluck getting powers. I think he comments. He's like,
was
"I've got
after-
powers. Whoa, good for
It was
him."
after I like
You rescued
like
him from the
opened up
bottom
his
of a
soul
huge
in,
pit.
you know,
Right, yeah,
in
he sort of became one with that pool of ghosts, right?
like, yeah,
Nice.
yeah. It sort of defibrillated him with the universe, and he got powers from it.
fibulated him with the universe. That's incredible. And then last but not least, sort of moving slowly up behind the whole crew, but with this group of folks, with your friends here, you see the Moon Girl here and back and standing with this crew as they wait to greet you as you all descend down from the ship.
Everybody good? Klik? You good?
Yeah, Moonboy's gonna run down past everybody and go give the Moon Girl a big hug.
Oh yeah, you all the two moon gnomes just kind of like, she's like, oh, Moon Boy. She's like, I'm so happy to see you again. And she notably is now before when there is still a small moon like orbiting her head, but there's also this old, looks like withered, leathery hand that is her hand that you all saw in the vision. And you can tell she has like one arm tucked up under her robe, but she still like puts both arms around you and gives you this. big
Yeah,
hug.
Moonboy returns the hug and then he's like, "Oh, it's so good to see you. We've been on so many adventures." And then he sees the hand and he goes, "Yeah,
Yes.
hell's going on there?"
Oh, she says, "Don't you judge me," and she swats you on the head. She's like, "I've been
Ow.
through. You don't know what I've been through, and you're criticizing my accoutrement." She says,
I'm sorry, I was startled. It's just you don't see a floating hand every so often.
"I know it is. It is. I like to keep it as a reminder of what is yet to come."
Click.
Hand it back to the others.
Click will bounce down the walkway and come up to Gluck and give him like a little bit of a headbutt. Be like, "You look strong, smart with his big like floaty robes."
It's like, "I am. Yes, that's right. You've known me when I was barely anything, and now I'm something different." He says, looking at you, and he goes, "I would not see the truth I see without you, and so I'm glad that you're back. Maybe you will continue to show me the truth," he says, like patting you on the back.
That's all, Kai, but I'm glad to be home for at least a little bit.
No,
Nice to see you too, Gluck.
He says, no. As in, I would have been continuing to run. When you met me, I was running. And
I suppose.
and now I am
It's true,
doing
you-
nothing
you
but
whooped it.
listening.
That's right, we
whooped his
picked him
ass,
up in the
didn't
Cove
you?
of the Bones.
That's true.
Is he
it's
still
good to see you
vaping?
settled. It suits you.
He says, "Thank you. I've grown up a little," he says, kind of like looking very proud to talk to you about it.
I hope not too much.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, and he kind of like gets distracted and he goes, what is too much of time?" And he kind of just like starts looking off in the distance.
Sorry.
No, that's it.
Is Olephanticulus around?
Oh, he's on the ship. It seems very clear that pretty much everyone else on the ship is a little nervous to be back here in some way, in some reason. Just kind of like the crew, Goliathan and Relic and Cobble only knew this as a place that they were attacking, and they never really settled here. And so there seems to be some anxiety there, and same thing with Olephanticulus and Malzor and Arugula are literally below board. You have no idea what they're doing. They're just being weird and kind of not paying attention. And
I know what they're doing.
Sounds about right.
But if you kind of see like Clang the bird shows up first, and then you can see Olephanticulus like slowly move up to the side of the deck, kind of standing at the drawbridge that leans down from the dinger onto the ground there, and he goes, "Well, it certainly has been a long time." And you see Moon Girl like look up and go, "Oh." She goes, "Oh, Oli. I wasn't 100% sure that you weren't just tucked away in the corner dying." And he goes, "Well, to be fair, I was tucked away in a corner dying. Dying, And she goes, "I know." And they kind of both chuckle. And the Moon Girl quickly floats herself up to him and just like surges toward him. You think she's like attacking him almost for a second, but she hits him. She hits him and just hugs him. And the two small
Put her down.
Cast banishment.
These two very small beings just like hold each other for a long time as they're just like these are old friends that have not seen each other in hundreds of years.
Wow, Oli.
And yeah, and you can hear them. You can hear her say, "Seems like we have much to talk about." And he goes, "Tea?" And she goes, "Tea." And they kind of walk away up on the ship. And she goes, "Moonboy, I'll deal with you later." She says,
Yeah, it's fine. I hate tea. I don't. Goodbye.
No, see you soon. She says, and she looks at Clang and she goes, "Polymorphed wizard." And he goes, "Yes, you know." And they continue on downstairs. But yeah, you had this crowd in front of you now. All of a sudden, the whole crew has this like crowd in front of you that are trying to be reverent, and you can tell. Actually, you know what? Let's have you all roll perception checks to see if you can tell what this crowd wants and what these figures who are here with you as well want.
What they want?
Yeah, just like what's the vibe? You're reading the room.
Can I do an insight?
Sure, absolutely.
It's perception is what you have?
It's 28.
I want you to play
insight.
Flute.
18, Moonboy, is that what you said?
28.
28. Oh, that's a big difference, yeah.
I got regular 8.
Sorry, what are we rolling again?
Perception or insight?
Perception.
Either one. Either one.
5.
Cool. I love it. Flute?
21.
21. Okay, cool. This crowd is Flute and Moonboy. You know this crowd is totally in awe of you. They are looking for heroes here. They're looking for a show. They're looking for a speech. They're looking for anything, as you all are the heroes, not just of Jadorian, but it's quickly became clear as folks have come to the city for refuge as well from these Mind Flare attacks, from the Power Face attacks, from all these different things, that you all are known as the people who can take care of it, like the people who are going to save everybody from this. And Moonboy, Flute, you know a crowd. Like if not, even if you haven't had a crowd enraptured in your hand, you at least have studied about it in school. And so you have an eager awaiting crowd in front of you. And Moonboy,
cool
too, you know that
I love it.
Moonboy, you especially know that like this crowd is looking for hope and inspiration. Kai
I'll
and
kind
Klik,
of
you are
tell
totally
the
overwhelmed
others-
by this and you have no idea what's going on. You're just like
kind of-
overwhelmed.
I'll kind of clue them in, and I'll be like, I think they want us to say something.
Stand-up comedy.
I think Klik
Does
is
anybody have-
honestly.
Let's wait till they're eating and ambush them with it.
And
Anybody got a tight-
let's wait till the game starts.
Yeah.
Real.
And then we'll start it and make them turn all the TVs off.
Let's wait till more people get here. Let's push the show 45
Yeah,
minutes.
let's wait. No one has to work in the morning, right? Let's push just a couple of hours till we get a couple more people in here.
Holy shit.
I'm gonna go out and bark.
I'll give anyone who could do like a couple of jokes in character, I'll give you inspiration.
Oh my god.
I don't want that inspiration.
Jordan's
Boy,
face.
I've been looking for that inspiration all over, Harlan.
Oh, Harlan.
I like how,
My
how
poor
much
midnight
we
lamb.
didn't like that idea.
I'm so sorry. I do D&D.
How dare
I'm so
you
sorry.
blend disgusting stand-up comedy into the fun of Dungeons and Dragons.
Into the
How
purity
dare
of
you
this house.
pollute our art form with such garbage?
Should have included that in the pre-game conversation.
Yeah, like a
Trigger warning.
yeah, comfort.
Stand-up comedy.
Yeah, this is the first time any of you all are playing the X card with me. It's like no comedy, no jokes.
No, just
Fade to black, please. Fade to black. I don't want to.
Yeah. This is a real Harlan.
Suddenly-
Stop being funny. We have D&D to do. Moment.
Suddenly, out of the crowd, it's Gene Pompa. He's got a tight TV-ready 10.
Holy shit.
How did he get to Jadorian? Who knows?
Greg Baumhauer.
He's always going straight to the top. Craig Bumhauer's here. He's got beads down to his knees.
I'm gonna make some Patreon exclusive content that's just me trying to write Kreen jokes.
Oh man.
I think Kreen jokes are like deeply offensive in terms of like
But on like a spiritual
I think
level.
the punchline to every Kreen joke is just like he was such a coward
He died because of it.
because he was a coward.
You hear about the warrior who was unworthy of his weapon.
It
He
came
died
to
a
life and
coward.
killed him. And his cowardice resulted in death and famine for the whole tribe.
His family was disgraced.
Weird
Anyways.
clicking laughs.
Yeah, just
Bunch
Sounds
of
like
pool,
just cicadas.
bunch of pool balls falling down the stairs.
Okay,
We're lost in the bit.
we've
sorry.
established that you all are not doing any sort of stand-up comedy
Okay.
to entertain this
No.
crowd.
We're not doing
But,
comedy.
The you do have this just like crowd of Jadorian residents and also people who have like you see
Flute.
all sorts of folks in and around. You see humans, you
Moonboy's
see, like,
gonna look
dwarves.
around for something to kind of stand up on, like a barrel or something.
There's a barrel. Push the barrel over.
Barrels all over.
Yep.
Great. He's gonna grab this barrel and kind of climb up on it, and sort of, even though he could fly, he climbs clumsily up on it, and he looks around at everybody. And he goes, "Guys, I know things looking pretty weird, pretty bleak around here lately, but don't worry, we've got a list. Thank you."
Roll a persuasion check, and honestly, I was gonna have you do a disadvantage, but you can just do it straight up because you rolled so high.
Can I help him by saying, we have ice cream?
Buzz Snort goes, yeah. You can't because you rolled so low, but Flute, if you have a way
Yeah.
that you can
Alright,
help
yeah, it's
Moonboy,
terrible.
you absolutely.
I just wanted to make that joke, really.
Yeah,
So
that
we're
was a
good.
good joke. I agree.
Thank you.
If I can help Moonboy.
Yeah. How like Moonboy says this to the crowd? What are you doing to kind of like help this? Because you're the other person who realized that like the crowd is really looking for something from.
We've got a list of all the problems that need to be solved.
I'll kind of see that Moonboy did that, and I'll jump up on the railing of the dinger with like a flourish, and kind of exhort the crowd, and I'll be like,
Oh, we don't just have a list. We've returned from the Astral Sea. Well, we just destroyed an Astral Dreadnought. We made our way through the Azir Forge.
Didn't destroy it.
Easily defeating the Mir's traps.
Pretty odd, really. A lot of this is kind of a half-truth. Come to think.
And we came back.
I'm like elbowing Moonboy away from me.
Who's like,
But I'm
Moonboy's,
kind
like,
of
pointing to the list the
recounting.
whole
I'm just
time.
trying to recount our kind of like deeds since we since we were last at Jadorian, and kind of in a very showy way, and like.
And now we've come back to deal with these mind flayers.
All right, cool. You also can roll a.
How about a performance?
You betcha.
roll?
That's what I was gonna do it. Yeah. So Moonboy, you can roll a persuasion check.
I chunked it. I got a 6.
Great. Yeah. So you can see the whole crowd is like, what? Like kind of like they're like a list. Like you hear some like
I look
rumbling.
I look
He's a
at
manager. Oh God, he's a manager.
I look at clicks. I see that they're not like they don't see the power of the list of problems, and I'm like,
Click, give me the list. I think they need to see the list.
Click is gone. She has just.
yeah.
I think Click just entirely missed that we were supposed to say something, and she is in the crowds just being like, "It's good to see you. You look great. What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Like just small
How's your
chatting
mother?
with people that she knew
Yeah.
from before. She's like completely disappeared and unhelpful.
And Auntie Rabakash is like with you, kind of like being your handler a little bit, just being like, oh yeah, now that Teklock is doing this now, and like they're helping us rebuild the walls, and Shodan is helping us. Is actually a very accomplished gunner up on the walls. So, kind of just talking to you about what people are doing as well. Just like
That's
my
amazing.
mom
So
at
your
a family
shots
gathering,
improved.
being
Congrats.
like, "Yeah, Harlan, you remember your aunt, right? Yeah."
Auntie Ravakash.
And Click actually does remember all of the Kreen because they're in red.
It's true. It's true. So, Flute, what did you get on that performance check?
I got a 29.
29? Oh my god. Like at Moonboy, you turn around for the list to like get the list from Klik, and she's not there. And you turn back
for some
around.
reason I see him like turning around and like talking to a coat rack that looked a little like Klik because of the coats arranged on it. It's the kind of like
Rack
a
of
kind of like
invisibility.
kind of like a tugging on your mom's jacket in the grocery store, and it's not her at all.
And but when you turn back around, you see Flute in a state you rarely see him, which is being praised by a large group of people.
Got him.
Got him.
But I think that I also think that like
Zanged.
Moonboy, this might be Flute has come back and is like in his element a little bit, and for someone who you used to like really admire too, you just like see him. You're like trying to explain it to the crowd, and you have it. You're right, like you all do have it handled, but you see him like commanding this crowd, and you rolled so high on this perception check, on this insight check, that you're like. You totally see how this crowd was looking for this, and Flute is giving it to him. He might not be the best in combat. He might not be the best friend to you all the time, but all of a sudden, when he's up in front of a group of people, he's the best version of himself, like just giving the people what they want.
Yeah.
And they are
Truly insufferable. Your worst friend.
Look at him, shining up there like a big, beautiful gene pumper.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know why you're bringing.
I got to
Dan
meet him
into
one
this
time. He was really nice.
Cool. Okay. And so, Kai, what are you doing in all of this? You're kind of like, it's overwhelming. It's a lot. for you, and you've seen all of Venticulus and Moon Girl just kind of like go off on their own. But you see this whole city of Jadorian that has kind of been rebuilt and is functioning well and is providing a safe harbor for all of these different folks.
K.A.I is just sort of looking at the city and looking around at the people and feeling complicated dad issue feelings.
Sure.
She's calling him Ollie, and I'm like thinking about how I didn't even know his actual name. Kind of a bummer.
Yeah, where are you in this? As like Flute is entertaining the crowd and Moonboy's kind of failing at it. Klik has blended into this Jadorian crowd. Gluck is still kind of like up front by where Moonboy was standing, and as well as Buzz Snorg as well. They're just kind of like up by Moonboy, and Buzz Snorg is clearly like listening to Flute's tale and being like, "Oh my god!"
Sure.
And Gluck is kind of not paying attention, but is just like looking around at everything. Yeah, where are you? What do you think?
I think I'm not going to go too far away, but I'm going to sort of walk around a little bit and take a look at some of these new ships that they're building and just at the repairs that they're making to the city. Also trying to remember where we left our other ship. It was not in Jadorian. It was near the Skull Goblin
Yes. Yeah.
headquarters, right?
It was out in the tunnels between
Walking around, clicking the fob.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Where did we park the other ship?
How was
It was
that?
brand new.
Yeah.
Just right off the lot.
Yeah. In fact, you could remember that it wasn't just it was in not slow dives. It was in slow death's territory, kind of toward the Skull Goblin King's territory, but around slow death's territory as well. It's like in that in the tunnels in and around slow death's territory and the Skull Goblin King's territory.
Sort of between there and the Skull Goblin area.
Sure. So yeah, you like head out into the crowd, and you can tell people are like watching you, but like giving you space here too. And you see this small goblin come up to you, who's like wearing a skull on his head, and he's like, "Oh, hey, what's up? Remember me? You saved my life. My name's Lag. I escorted the king.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you remember me?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, what's
wait,
up?
are you the guy that I've saved a few Skull Goblins' lives?
Oh,
I would
that's
remember.
rude.
Aaron's having trouble remembering. He's the one that we broke into the Skull Goblin Palace with, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
He
I
walks
remember.
up to you, and you can tell he's like a good. You can tell this is why this little scrappy Skull Goblin has gotten by too, because when he walks up to you, he introduces himself to you and gives you all the information. He's like, "You remember me?
Right.
I'm Lag. You saved me from the Frog Hemoth when I was stranded out there, and then I went
Frog
in.
Hemoth.
You had to talk me into going into the Palace of the Skull
right.
Goblin King when it was taken over by Mind Flayers, and I helped the Skull Goblin King escape." And we
That's
went through the
right.
hall of the Skull Goblin Kings where there was like all those dead skull. He's like, yeah, you remember me.
I'm proud of you. Good job.
Thank you.
You really helped.
I'm
It's
proud
important.
of me too.
How's it going? How have things been in liberated Jadorian? I'm sorry about your home.
Oh, it's okay. At least the Mind Flayers aren't there anymore, he says, and kind of.
Right,
like-
who's there now? It's
It's Powerface.
Janice?
Powerface.
Powerface.
Yeah, the Beholders. He's like, no, it's great because of all the stories I have to tell. People just buy me drinks all the time, and I'm having fun just hanging out, being a stranger in a strange land. But
being a little bit of a beach bum.
yeah, but like whatever,
Yeah, not in a bad way, in a positive connotation.
No, yeah, I love it. He says the world is crazy right now. I never thought I'd be hanging out in Jadorian. Like, holy shit. But it's cool.
Never thought I'd be in the closest town to my town.
Yeah, I mean,
Just
what?
kidding.
Yeah, exactly. We just didn't. Our towns all didn't get along very well, and there was a whole dragon between us, so we didn't,
Right.
do
Right.
pleasure
And there was a
cruises to
war
each other.
here for a while.
Yeah. But
This area's been through a lot.
yeah, he says, but it's cool now. He's like, look at all these spikes. He's like, I live in one of those. He says, and pointing up at the center of Jadorian has all these like spikes that like go up that have pathways going up to them that have all these homes just kind of like sprouting off the sides of them. And they look like they're made of some sort of like crystalline material.
Oh, very cool.
He's like, yeah.
Crystalline. Do Do you rent or?
I'm kind of on I work to, pay my dues here. I kind of like chip in. I'm a part of the commune here, as some say.
Got it.
But it's pretty cool. Like I got a nice place to live, and I get by on just telling stories a lot of the time. But I do my fair share. He says. How are you? Sorry, I'm so rude. I've just been talking about me, but you all seem to have me out on other planes of existence, killing everything to save us, right?
Yeah, we've been busy. There's been a lot going on, for sure.
Nice, he says. Are you good, or?
Am I good?
Yeah, you good? I mean, I don't know. I don't know you that well, but I didn't get this far in life not knowing when someone's kind of going through something.
Oh, definitely under I'm fine. Thank you.
Roll a deception check.
Mm-hmm. 10.
I got a natural 20.
Oh,
Because when I roll for emotions, I win. He looks at you and he goes, "Hey, man. K.A.I. Can I call you K.A.I? You seem very famous. I don't know how to be respectful to you.
You can call me K.A.I. That's fine.
I'm a little tiny skull goblin. And in my culture, when someone has done something for you, then you got to do something back for them when the time is right. And tell me what you need, man. I want to help you out. What's eating you? What's something that would cheer you up? I want to know. I want to help. I know I'm this tiny little weirdo skull goblin, but I'm capable and I got a lot to offer.
saying that.
So tell me what you need.
Are you a spellcaster? Do you have any
No.
fighting abilities?
No.
I'm not sure how much you can do for me, unfortunately. Lag.
Okay, I see. You think because
Do you
you're
know
a big hero, you think that the only way to do something for anyone is to kill something or cast a spell to another dimension, right?
No, I just have, there's a lot of fighting happening, and,
Okay, well, what's something that's not fighting that I can do for you?
says big after the comedy show energy. This guy's backed me into a corner.
I guess you can make some flyers or something.
No, it's cool. I know
Message
him.
me.
I know him.
Yeah.
Message me on Facebook. We'll set something up.
Actually, I think since he rolled so high too, he's like, "Look, I don't mean to put you on the spot. I realize I'm making it weird. It's just because I care. So, if you want to come find me, I live in that spire. You see the spire that has the clover at the top? I live
Yes, I do.
I live in the 8th house up. So, if you need me,
I appreciate
you come
that.
find me.
I appreciate your concern. I don't know if I'm in a place to verbalize anything that would be helpful at this time.
Well, he says, I understand. Love of my life, too. Also not quite a talker. So, I understand some people just process things differently. And he says, and he kind of
Holding
pats
a
you
body pillow.
He pats
Which
you
for
on
a
the
goblin
calf.
is a regular pillow.
Yeah. He pats you on the calf and he's like, all right, well, good luck. Don't beat yourself up, he says. And just walks away into the crowd.
Come on, babe.
Right. Well,
Cool. I think with that, we're going to cut to a quick 5-minute break where, you know what we're going to do?
okay.
You know what we're going to do? We are going
Two
to
things.
drink, comma,
I came here.
pee. You all can see it.
Drink
You all can
bubble
see
gum.
it on. God, Jordan, the other day you said in a stream, some of us are made to I can't think of it anymore. Some of us were made to drink Waterloos and hang out, I think is what you said. I just have laughing
Nice.
at it since. Even though
I really feel that.
Anyway, we're going to take a quick...
Kai runs after the goblin. I know what I want now. Got any black cherries up there, big guy? Come on.
Cool. All right, we're going to take a quick 5-minute break. We're going to drink, pee, and we'll see you in just 5 minutes here. Give us just a second. Talk to you soon. Okay, so you all are. Flute is. Look, last we saw our heroes here before break. K.A.I is kind of meandering around the city of Jadorian. You've seen it's been rebuilt. A thing you know about the city as well is that it's you know where what was previously a temple, this kind of like gathering space of officials that you broke into, and you know where that like pit is that you saved Gluck in. You also can see this like hangar as well, where you know before that PC, aka Piss Cricket, worked in, but he left on. Yeah, but
Why do we have so much piss?
Because we keep laughing, you know?
Yeah.
Does that make
Stop
everybody
doing it
else
when it
an
stops being
NPC?
funny.
Piss. Yeah.
Not
An
Piss
non-Piss
Cricket.
Cricket. Yeah.
NPP.
But
Piss Cricket went with the Breeze Traveler, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So, but you see that the hangar that was before, it's very
same.
clear to you, Kai. You saw these in the vision from Aldous of this, and you can see them inside of there. You see about 10 ships, and you saw a couple of them flying around too. And there are about 10 ships that are landed in there that are being worked on here or there, and it's this very bustling workshop as well.
Didn't we help design them in some capacity?
Yes, yeah. When I reviewed the tape, you did give them
Shouldn't we be
design
getting
plans for
paid
a
for that?
Chachka ship.
I will go find who I need to talk to about getting paid.
Getting some royalties on that shit. Some back-end points.
But yeah, so you're kind of in the town, like you're in the city square here, and people are kind of like giving you your space now, as most of the folks who are just here for like to say they saw you are watching Flute's performance, and Flute's like a description of a lot of the adventures, and
I've run out of adventures, and now I'm just showing off the glamour armor that K.A.I got me as I'm making a change.
Moonboy is
Just turned it into a full-on open mic up there.
Oh, I missed attention so much.
Put your name in the bucket.
It's so sad.
Give us a taste of some of these looks.
Pile of
What do we
pills.
got?
yeah.
What do we got? An island
come
look.
on.
A
Yeah, give it
ski
to us.
look.
Oh, they're all kind of variations on like pirate themes, but you know, different
Okay.
colors. Something.
So it's like a ski
crimson.
pirate.
Yeah.
Colored pirate.
Great.
Now that's a pirate of a
I call
different
this
color.
one Yellow Pirate. This one here is one of my favorites. This is Green Pirate. These are real good.
No, it's the Firma Regna Buccaneer.
There we go.
Like.
They're all pretty pirate based, really.
Flute, roll a perception check.
They just put different. They just recolorize the same skin over and over.
No, you guys, look, what he's doing is he works in subtleties.
Pre-order
It's about-
content is garbage. This is the same skin with a leopard print on it.
Over.
They're
No, it's
called
great.
chromas.
It's great.
They're
This
called
is
chromas.
This is Safari Pirate Flute. It's important.
I got a 19.
Relic is sitting there watching you and is looking very smug and kind of like trying to play off that he thinks you're annoying, but he clearly thinks you're very cool. And Relic is also something like that you used to look up to, this like halfling gunner, and you used to think was very cool. And he now is like clearly thinks you're very cool as he's like sitting there from the gunner, and he's kind of like trying to brush it off, but is like You just like
So he's
catch his eye a little
pretending
bit.
to think that to look like I'm being annoying, but he thinks I'm cool.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
When you give a good friend, it's just the Growlix podcast of like when you all are making fun of each other, but clearly you like each other.
Yeah.
So obvious that you guys just love each other.
No free plugs, please.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just a
Same
fan.
with the end. Same thing. Are the Kreens, Thaco, and Hackshaw around?
Fucking love Thaco and Hackshaw.
Who could forget?
God damn it, Andrew. In my list of NPCs that I'll have a question mark of exactly where they are.
Thaco and Hackshaw are real good.
I think this was the last place we saw them, if that is helpful.
Yeah. Ram.
Were they killed in battle?
What
No.
one of them was, and I couldn't find before this episode which one it was. I wrote it down, but
Yeah, they got killed in the room.
They jumped with us to the...
They
Ram.
got killed in the
Forget
room
it.
with the cream.
Yeah, Ram is
One
alive.
of them did.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
to the council
right.
chambers.
think
Ram
that
is
is what
alive, and he
happened.
went on the ship with PC and the Breeze Traveler. I truly, Andrew, you win the obscure NPC conversation
yeah.
award
Well done,
because
Well done.
I made this huge long list of NPCs that are on Chidorian whose names I know and
And
what
I
they're doing,
screwed you.
and they were the ones on the bottom of my list where I ran out of time. I was like, I just don't have time to scrub through this episode because I forgot to write
Who's
down.
gonna
No
mention?
way.
Who's
They
gonna
were
remember either one of those
OG.
guys?
They were in the revolution, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember either one of them
Revolutionaries.
dying.
We
really?
went and
One of
found
them
them
died?
in the caverns.
Okay, you know what? Everybody vamp for a second, and I'll
Yeah.
let me
No,
do
no,
a
no,
little
no,
thinking.
no. That's crazy.
It's
That's
okay.
crazy.
It
We
wasn't
don't
even
need
that
to-
big of a moment. I was just going to. I had
Arlen.
said that they had taught me that psychic lance spell that I know, and I was just going to thank them for it. Well, I can also not find them in the crowd as I'm
Harlan, you're
looking around.
you're the god of this place. You can just say they're here.
No, but also past me is a god to current me, you know?
Okay, good answer. Good
Better than
answer.
gods.
Sorry.
I mean, we are level 13. We're at least X-Men at this point.
Okay, let's say this. Let's say this, Flute. That here's my answer to this, and I would love to rectify this later once I get you a better answer. But I love the idea of Flute kind of like telling this as part of the story and like calling out these names and just being like, "Are you all here?" And like getting nothing a little bit and being like, oh, this is maybe something that you have to figure out. And like maybe something that like, oh shit. And like either way, you kind of speak to their names of like, these are the people. They like taught me this. Like, and you're kind of like connecting some of the things that the adventures that you've done so far to like, and we've carried this with us. Like, you know, like shout out to Jadori, and you're really doing the boys are back in Philadelphia. The boys are back in Philadelphia here. A little bit like, what's up, Chicago here? To them,
Pandering.
Over London,
Hardcore.
walk on Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
and
Where's all my Wiggle Ball fans at?
Dorian High School football
That one
rules.
really got me.
yeah, this yeah, we are no longer accepting new fans to this show. If you are new to the show, just
we
go
are.
back and figure all those things out. That's a joke. But yeah, okay. So yeah, so you can't quite find them, and but you do have this moment of kind of like at least speaking that, like remembering these names and like kind of like
Cool.
calling out the folks that are part of your story.
Then I'll kind of wrap it up by throwing my hands up, and be like,
Now, who wants to sell us some potions?
and I'll walk down this gangplank and try to buy some fucking health potions.
Andrew, roll a d20. Roll a persuasion check.
People
Do they just
throwing
throw him
health
on
potions
stage?
at you,
Throw
yeah.
him on stage.
I rolled a 2.
Hell yeah. People start pitching you prices. They're like, oh, I got a store over here, blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, when you say that, people are kind of like, oh, this is taking a weird turn, and the crowd disperses a little bit. And they're like, yeah, but a couple of
for
folks
the
walk
war
up to you, and they're
effort.
like, yeah, if you want to buy potions, you can buy potions from us for sure.
Yes, I do. I do want to buy health potions.
So many.
We have too much.
need them.
We spend too much time having fun with the story. We don't buy health potions, and then we get our clocks cleaned. Me
Yeah.
specifically, mainly, but
I will say there is an ample supply of potions at this point because they are preparing for war, and there's a lot of folks in and around who can prepare potions. So a thing we can do off of stream is you can figure out how much money you all have, and I can present you potion prices. But
go.
Tell you.
as
we
anyone
can
who's
do it
ever
later.
watched any games that I've run for a long period of time, I need to not just throw those things off the dome, or I end up giving Andrew's character 100 fire-breathing potions. which
Yeah,
I
we
did.
did. And we have a Patreon game, and Harlan gave all the players
Particularly egregious.
100 potions of fire breathing and 100 healing potions.
Fuck me running.
But I'll tell you what, you get some pretty creative uses of those fire breathing potions. As a druid, I drink one, turn into a bear, and then fire breathe like a
Amazing.
bear. Come on! I
Yeah,
love it.
that makes a hell of a Friday night, right
I
there.
really had a plan for it, and I forgot what it was.
We have
Plan
10,000
was
gold
to make the game
and a
awesome.
bunch of other stuff.
Everyone in this game breathes fire.
Yeah. All fire breathing all the
Welcome to a
time.
game that I'm calling Fire Breathe World.
It's like a mod for the game. Yeah, everyone breathes fire all the time.
Fire breathe world.
Yeah, we were really waiting for the other shoe to drop when we found this wagon full of potions, but it turned out we just got a lot of potions.
Don't worry, I lose my shoes all the time. So
They just have a lot of sugar in them.
yeah.
That's it. Now you all have heart disease.
Just for the fun of it, a skull goblin comes up to you, Flute, and is like, "You want potions? Here, take these out. I'm calling them my fire-breathing world potions." And he's like,
Yes.
he just hands you 4 potions of fire breathing.
Oh, fuck
And
yeah.
he's like, "Yeah, tell everybody.
Whoa.
Tell everybody if you
I'm
use these,
just kidding. I'm kidding.
if you use these, tell them Crispy sold them to you. All right? Tell them they were a gift from Crispy, and Crispy's got the best fire-breathing potions."
Crispy. Well, if I use them on someone, they're probably not gonna come to you to. You got it, Crispy.
maybe-
You got
It, and I'll give him one of those two-handed pumping handshakes.
Maybe you'll burn them up real good, and they'll think, "Hey, I want to go. I want to get revenge against you. So I'm gonna go give it back to
good
you
point.
tenfold." And so they'll buy 10 from
Right.
you,
I'm
know?
already regretting the path we're walking down.
All right.
Thank you, Crispy.
No problem. Another NPC I'm going to write down on my long NPC list. Great.
Crispy the Goblin. Oh, I recorded it.
Now you got to do
man.
like Flute fire breathing brought to you by Crispies.
Contractually obligated.
If I can get a
Sponsored by-
sponsorship, that'd be
Sends you
amazing.
free fire breathing potions every so often. But every time you use one, you have to say,
I gotta
brought to you
plug-
by
I gotta plug Crispy.
Crispies.
We
Pop on down to
Corporate world.
DeJorian and check out Crispy's potion tent.
Dude, you know what?
Open Thursdays 5 to 9.
It's gotta be
Fridays,
Crispy's fire
5 to-
breathing world, right?
I like that I'm just like
Yeah.
adding awkward goblin encounters to all of you. Like everybody gets
I know.
one now. Yeah.
I like these.
I don't think you get a chance to do it to Moonboy because I think he kind of looks around at this and gives kind of a couple of like, haha, hello, yes, we're all big heroes, and he kind of eyeballs where the Moon Girl and Oliphanticulus go, and he's gonna follow them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Cool. Are you
kinda-
trying to? Are you trying to
Go
not?
ahead.
Are you trying to not let them know that you were following them?
Yeah, but not out of like any malicious intent to spy on them. I think his plan is to see where they're having tea and kind of like walk in and be like, "Oh my god, I was also having tea here."
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I love that. You easily find them in the kitchen of the Dinger, K.A.I.'s kitchen.
Okay.
And
He goes and he gets a cup down for himself. He kind of has his own cup.
Special
sure.
little Moonboy
yeah.
mug.
What does
Yeah.
Moonboy's cup look like? Please, God, tell me.
It looks like a little flower. It looks like a little pale flower that's like ceramic. I think he grew it.
Oh hell yeah! That's
Yeah.
And yeah, absolutely. And so
And he kind of walks in to where they're talking, and he has the cup, and he's holding it, and what do they do?
I want you to roll a stealth check, a
Okay.
perception check, and a deception check in that order.
Okay. 23 for the stealth.
Got it.
12 for the perception.
Cool.
And what was the third one?
Deception.
Deception.
That one's kind of for fun.
13.
Cool. You walk up to them, and they're clearly having a serious conversation. They're old friends that have not seen each other for a long time. And a quick thing that you all are able to pick up because they don't notice that you are there is that they are jumping right into some hard truths. Like, you can just tell by the tone of their voice.
Can I hear any of it?
Not quite, because at the point that you don't hear what they're talking about, but you get a clear that they stop talking when they notice you.
Yeah.
As you
and he kind of notices it, and he like looks down at his cup, and he's like,
Sorry, I have.
and I think he like bursts into tears. I think it's one of those things where he's like he thought he would be like ready for this thing, and he thought it would be like a fun moment to come back here.
Yeah.
And he's just like, he like completely melts down. And he's like, I'm so sorry. My hat. There's a problem with my hat. I don't know what's wrong with it. And he pulls out the hat that's been like clamped shut, and it is just like quivering.
The moon girl's like, Moonboy, here. Come here, boy. You've been through a lot.
It's full of monsters. We went. There was.
Yes. You carry the weight of the moon on your shoulders. I understand.
I do, and the moon is in there, and I haven't seen her.
And you find yourself like drinking tea that she has poured for you without you even doing it.
Oh, thank you.
And
Oh, look, I'm doing the robot.
that's okay. She looks at you and is like a little concerned, and she's like, we can definitely fix your hat. What? Tell me what is wrong. What is wrong with your hat?
It's like rubbing his eyes. He's like,
It's because there was a bat, and he came out and he said I wasn't allowed to summon people, and I summoned them anyway because we needed the help in bat.
That was a pretty accurate description. She looks at you and goes, is Bartholomew giving you trouble?
Yes, that's his name. Yes, he was quite the dick.
And you see Olaphanticulus is like sitting there writing some things down on a piece of paper as you're talking. And Clang is kind of drinking out of his own cup of tea as well. And Moon Girl goes, interesting. So, are you saying you had an influx of moon-like creatures, like influx of creatures from Lunastera that have been coming through your hat recently?
Well, but also I couldn't see. Last time I was in there, I couldn't see the moon. It was nowhere.
Mm-hmm. She says, "It sounds like." Well, that makes sense because you said that you all went to the Azure Forge, yes?
Yeah.
So you were probably cut off from. Your hat is not just an attunement. Your hat is a portal. It is a view into a place, into another world. And so it makes sense that in a place that is protected from folks teleporting in or teleporting out, or a vault of sorts, a place that is protected against that type of magic, that you were cut off from it. So I wouldn't take that to heart as in you did anything wrong or the moon did anything wrong. I'm more worried by the influx of creatures.
Me too. There was like so many geckos.
Oh,
Girl, you just don't know.
I mean, I do know. They're running rampant here now. That there's a whole small petting zoo of Lunastaran creatures.
Yep, those are mine.
Yeah, the Lunastaran gecko has really caused some problems with a few crops in and around town.
Those ones actually aren't mine. Those got here a different way. I was talking about other ones on the ship, safely in terrariums. Terraria.
Auntie Rabakosh said that you specifically left about 10 or 15 different Lunastaran creatures in your dorm room.
He once again bursts into tears. I did. That was me. I left them.
It's okay. It's okay. Incredible.
Some gnomish sobbing sounds like.
She pats you on the back and she says, "Drink your tea, young boy. We're going to save the world."
Pounds it.
Roll a insight check for me.
Okay. Right.
Man, I just cannot roll well on these goddamn dice.
Chunk. 26.
Yep. Olaphanticulus is on edge, and he's watching you very closely. And
Me?
the more, yeah, and like you kind of like come out of this as the Moon Girl's being very comforting to you and being like you can tell that she is very happy to see you, and she's just like at ease being around you, and that you're alive, and that when you first met her, she said that she had just been in that vault of Ventress's vault waiting for you, and so she's clearly very happy that you were back and had faith that you were back. And Olaphanticulus looks very worried and is listening to you very intently and is watching you very intently and is on edge.
Moonboy kind of notices this and he's like,
What's wrong?
Well, nothing. I'm happy that you all are back together. I know how much the Moon Girl loves you, and I love the Moon Girl.
Does Moonboy kind of get what he's saying?
Yeah, I mean that's up to you. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he does. He's like, oh, okay, well, same.
No, I'm sorry. It's just that I don't know you here in this, I don't know you as Moonboy. I knew you as Cyril. And, it's hard, as someone who has just remembered a lot of things recently, it's hard for me to forget that we used to work together, and it's just odd for me to see you as, I do not. He kind of like looks a little defeated, and he's like, "I'm not saying that you've done nothing wrong. It's just it's odd for me because we knew each other before for you to not know me when I know you."
Well, and he kind of takes it in for a second, and he's like, "Well, maybe we could get to know each other right now."
Yes.
And he sort of puts his hand out for him to shake it. He's like, "I'm the Moonboy. And that's all I ever remember being."
And he nods, and he's like, "I understand. I am Olaphanticulus. He says, I have a question for you, Moonboy."
Right.
What would you do to save this world?
Well, I mean, I don't suppose there's any one thing. I'd kind of gauge it by thing to thing. You know, what's being asked? Do I have to, like, jump something? like something high, or do I have to kill someone?
Well,
It's different. It's a sliding scale.
I'm glad to see you as intelligent as you've ever been.
Yeah,
Which
the
he's being
score.
earnest. That's not it. That sounded like a burn. It sounded like a burn.
Well, fuck you too.
I open fire. Take him down.
And he looks at you and he says, if you could save every life from here, if you could save every life, would you destroy every place here if you could save every life?
I suppose I would.
He says, well, and Moon Girl and Olaphanticulus nod at each other. Lulun and Olaphanticulus nod at each other, and she says, I've just been waiting for him. And Olaphanticulus shakes his head and he goes, this is what happens when you hang out with old friends, as you just don't get to do any small talk. You just go right to the big stuff because they know you so well. And the two of them laugh a little bit, and Olaphanticulus pats you on the shoulder if you're okay with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Moonboy, he's like, I understand, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt anything, but if there's something super vital, like, you should tell everybody, and I can help you, But again, and he holds up his quivering hat. It's like it's going to explode. There's a gecko and blah, 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 blah.
Yes. And I'm gonna have Moon Girl roll an Arcana check on the hat real quick. She's like, yeah, we should. She kind of like giggles a little bit, and she's like, we should open that in a wide field, I think. And as long as we open it in an open field.
Did you say there was a petting zoo?
Yes, but honestly, that's very full, so we should find a nice plain.
You say field, huh? Some of the stuff that comes out is not for petting, too.
Exactly.
This fucked up crab came out. Nobody else saw it. I killed it right away, but it was terrifying. Instead of a shell, it had Kevin Spacey's face. It was weird.
Yes. That's yeah, nope. Cancel crustacean. That's nice
Okay,
one.
yeah, there's some there.
And I want you to roll a persuasion check here at the end of this conversation.
Okay.
But Moon Girl is very assured that she can help you handle like the initial issue here.
13.
They're like, yes. They're kind of like, we'll help you. We'll help you with the hat. There's just going to be a lot of creatures that come out. It seems that there's been, because your hat was in a place where the creatures couldn't trickle out, there is now a large buildup on the other sides. I know that Bartholomew is very good at his job, and so he's continued to line up folks to come through your hat, and so he sorry, I'm doing a little bit more of Olaphanticulus voice when it should be down here. But Moon Girl's like, yes, but he's he probably just has a very large angry line that he's dealing with. So it's less of a actual explosion problem and more of a customer service problem that I imagine. So Bartholomew will be upset, but it's no harm. You're not in any danger.
All right. Okay.
And he kind of seems to feel a little better about things here.
And she says, cheers, have some more tea. And Clang pours all three of you some more tea, and you have some together there. Cool. Klik. What are you up to in the city? You're being like, Auntie Rabakosh is taking you to the fanciest place. You know, she's like immediately has this like large cup of syrup that she hands you. It's like very fine, like
Just
like it's
pancake.
it's like it comes from moss, like the dew that like forms on moss at the top, like the luminescent top of
the top of a mountain?
the cavern that
mountain
from Jadorian.
dew?
So like folks have to like actually fly up or climb and get it. But it is a mountain dew. Jesus Christ, that was so
Drink
good.
the dew of the mountain.
That was so good, Jordan.
We all love it here.
But yeah, she's just kind of like wheeling you around town. And if you have any specific place you want to go or questions you have for her, she's happy that you're back and is kind of just like sticking at your side. And it's very clear to you that she's very important now. All of a sudden.
I think Klik is enjoying being steered around town and saying hello to everyone and seeing that the city is back to being the city that she grew up in, and in many ways better. I think she grows weary of social contact, and I think when she can find a good moment, she'll slip sort of out of the periphery of Auntie Rabakosh as quietly as she can, preferably when there's a ton of people around.
Cool. Roll a stealth check.
Yeah. Roll a stealth check. It's not very good. 15.
Don't worry, I rolled a natural 1. So Auntie Rabakosh,
She's very she's really chit-chatting.
She is asleep, and Kreen do not sleep.
Yeah.
she doesn't notice for so long. Like she's gone to many different places, and she's a very sweet, attentive woman, but she's just kind of like caught up in the fervor of this and is many different places before you are noticed at all.
But Klik will slip away to the temple that they went to before that she knew has this like holy burial ground, basically. And just take a moment to sort of be quiet and appreciate being this close to everyone in the in her clutch and in her own, mind. And just have a sort of a quiet moment alone in a silent and also very full temple.
Yeah, absolutely. Because this is a place that you all broke the doors down of before. And it has this like exterior that is a gathering place, and it has this interior that's kind of like opening the doors that is this pit that is supposed to be a holy place as well. This place of attunement, this place where the veil is thin, when you make your way in there too, it has all of you fought here before. It's where you got your bracers, and it's a place that when you were kicked out of Jadorian as well, when you were kicked out of your community, you were kicked out in this entry hall room. And the entry hall room is pretty empty because of the excitement in the town square. And so you just kind of have this like slink in through the door moment, and there's almost no Kreen around. I would say there's no one here. And you remember this being the place where you got kicked out, where you were like the verdict came down that because of your failures, you were no longer a part of this community, a part of the clutch that you grew up in, and were asked to leave Jadorian. And then it's also the place where you came back and saved Jadorian in from the corruption that the Meridian Track and the that what you now know as Mir helped orchestrate. And so these large doors at the back of this entry room are usually they're like locked and guarded, to this meditative space, but they open for you immediately. There's just like you can feel the psionic connection as they just like open for you, and you see at the as you step in and you're having this moment of like communion and meditation. You don't see anything in this room at all for a while, and you just like sit in the stillness, and you can hear this quiet whisper of the voices in the same way in the astral plane that when Kabul set up her candles and you really were able to attune, you heard the voices get louder and louder, and you can hear it start to enter. Like you can feel this throb of just history and in the psionic connection you have to the clutch into yourself being bigger than your own body. And then you see it kind of like snaps you out of it and pulls you back as you feel distracted. As you see Gluck sitting on the very far side of this room, where before the clutch of souls was sitting, where Mir was sitting at the very far end. And he must have come here very quickly after you saw him like greet you when the ship landed, because you haven't spent that much time chit-chatting, and it takes a second to get over here, and he is just like sitting at the far side, and not even really acknowledging you, and just like letting you sit in the stillness, and he's sitting in the stillness, not breaking the silence at all.
I think we sit like that for a while, and she'll reach out to him telekinetically and be like, Are they ready?
Oh, yes.
Are they ready for another war?
Absolutely. You kicked my ass in a bar to remind me I shouldn't run away. You brought home to me, and you're asking whether or not your home is still your home, and your home is still your home. This community is unafraid of losing.
Yeah. I'm sort of afraid of that.
That makes sense.
I know that they'll go to war if I ask them to, but is it fair to even ask that of them again when we're back to this? It's so, everyone's so happy.
Yeah. The thing that everyone keeps telling me, he says and gestures to the cavern below him, is that if comfort is built on ignoring suffering, then you're just waiting in line.
Yeah, I suppose. Can't be happy knowing that there's war on the other side. But, feels like it was just yesterday that this place was covered in bodies and death and nightmares. I wish I could give them more time.
I don't know if time is what... people want the present. Us Kreen, especially the Jadorian, wants the present. Time is for the elves. They live thousands of years, and they act like they're better than everybody because they've seen generations of humans, of Kreen, of dwarves, of gnomes die. And there's nothing I haven't seen in my life. One of the most beautiful moments I've ever seen is you kicking my ass. Because I felt truth enter my face with your Githka slamming into it. And I've seen horrible things, and I've run from them. And then I could not run from you beating the shit out of me. But I mean, you didn't actually. You just kicked my butt. Like, you didn't actually hurt me. But just to be fair.
No, I hurt you.
I know better than to try and pick a fight with you. But
Yeah, well.
I'm just saying, we're not asking for more time. Jadorian isn't asking for more time. You aren't asking for more time. If you want time, you can hang out here as long as you want. I mean it. Like, we've been fighting off Power Face's advances alone with piss crickets, blueprints, and our will. Like, we've been doing it. Like, this younger generation of Kreen, we've shed the corruption of the Elder Council, and we're building a new world, and they can't fucking stop us. And if you all need a break, you should take a break here. I know, he says, like kind of talking to someone that's not you. And he says, but I don't think that's what you want, and I don't think that's what any of you all want. I think what you all want is to make sure people are safe. And that's, if you want to not just wait in line for your turn to prove that that's what you want, then you need to leave. But you can hunker down here, and we can sit here too.
No, you're right. It's time to be free of this. As much as we can be.
I mean,
I'm proud of you.
oh, thank you. He says, like slicking back his very long antennae. For what? For listening to all of the dead people who talk to me?
I suppose. For listening to anyone, really.
Yeah,
It's
difficult
It's not easy to take an ass whooping and feel like you earned it.
Well, yeah, I might talk a lot, but I also know when to shut the fuck up, he says. And
I suppose.
I also love imagining
whatever.
this whole conversation is happening silently, just like
yeah.
purely telepathically, and just you all like shrugging and like nodding. Yeah. And he's like, do you need to know anything? And he says, gesturing from below him, because he says, I have a hard time not listening lately. It's difficult for me to talk to people who aren't you, who you understand, but like, I can't leave this place for too long. I can't leave the communing for too long because of how loud it gets. He's saying, like, I can hear all of them. And if you need to know anything, he says, kind of like shaking his head and rubbing his dead eye. And he's like, I can tell you.
I don't know what there is to know.
Well,
I suppose you can't know what you need to know.
you just sit here and listen to me talk for a long time, but I don't think that will be fun for anyone.
Yeah, what's the dead gossip? Fill me in.
They're very proud of you. Apparently a couple of them got to talk to you, and they're bragging about it consistently.
Oh, yeah. They took us through, nothing, I guess, to find a friend.
Yeah.
Hope it was worth it, but, you know, I suppose friendship always is.
Yeah. Moving through nothing to find a friend, he says, kind of like laughing at the word as he says the words right back to you.
That's all we've been doing since I left this place, I suppose.
That's what I was doing too until I found a friend. And gestures toward you.
Aren't we lucky?
I mean, I died.
You're very lucky. You're extra lucky.
Now all I have to do is listening to all of these people give me advice, he says.
They love you.
Yeah, I know. I love them.
Thank you, friend, for doing what I couldn't do. Staying here, caring for the people.
He laughs. He's like, I thank you, friend, for doing what I couldn't do and leaving here and caring for the people. Yeah, and unless you want to do anything else while you're here with Gluck, I mean, you know he just has kind of confessed to like spending most of his time there. So if you want to go back and visit him, or if anyone wants to go back and visit him, they can.
Yeah, I'll think on it. I don't.
Yeah.
She doesn't have any great questions. Just mostly wanted to
Absolutely
feel it.
Yeah, totally. I hate feeling. Don't do that. No, the feeling. Cool. Who else? this crew is kind of spread around the city right now. It's getting darker in Jadorian, which is funny to hear because it just means that the plant life that is on top of the ceiling of this cavern is going through the cycle, but it's still an important cycle, and so it's becoming nighttime here. There is a lot of partying immediately in the town square too. Like a lot of the crowd that was around where Flute was before have just set up really makeshift disbursements of party goods, and it is really turning into a
Disbursement of party goods? Are you a cop? Harlan, what the fuck are you talking about?
no fantasy role-playing
You're
game.
under arrest for the disbursement of party goods.
Disbursement of unlicensed party goods?
They're licensed. They're
Balloons?
licensed.
Put your hands against the wall.
I'm sorry to derail you.
No, and you see a large amount of these Kreen are like they have these shells that they pull up that are look like large seashells almost. That you Klik would know come from the bottom of the canyons that are used as amplifying devices because of their shape, and they're like rubbing their legs together or like croaking as well, like kind of inside of these large shells around them, and they've set up, and there's like a chorus of them kind of like creating music that both a lot of the skull goblins and skull cyclops and the other like dwarves and humans and like gnomes and folks in and around this area are dancing to in the town square, and a lot of the living places that a lot of the buildings here that people live in the town center as well are these like long pillars that have pods coming off of them, like Lag mentioned before, where people are like hanging out of a little bit in the middle, and it's like a marching band kind of like in the middle of all of this, as they are playing music and just like dancing in the middle of the town square of Jadorian.
I can hear it.
Yeah, if you heard that earlier, in fact,
You really...
that's what it was.
Listen,
That's
you
what it
can
was.
hear it.
So yeah, there's a big party going on, and it's the evening time. And I would say I kind of just like the idea too of you all coming together and kind of like just like being in this town square together. But if there's anything
Sure.
anyone wants to do individually as well,
A little Ewok, little
Jump up.
Yabon lub nub.
Yeah, Flute's making their rounds.
lub nub action.
Yeah. I know, as Harlan was describing that, I was like, is this like a prequels music sequence or like the Ewoks music sequence?
Ewoks,
it's
this
Matrix
is
2. It's
Ewoks.
Matrix 2 in case.
Oh,
okay.
wow.
Holy
That's,
shit.
wow. That's a
my God.
tough one.
Oh, there's so much grinding.
Sweaty, sexual,
it's so
rave.
savory.
Without the cutscenes to Neo and
Kreen rave, yeah. Yeah, Flute's making the runs. Flute, though, not noticeably partying. There's been a few party scenes. He's gotten torn up on that Lilliput brandy, but if anyone were to nose around in his mug, they would find he's drinking black tea.
Just getting wired.
Is he a cop?
Just
A lot of cops around tonight. A lot of cop energy.
he's got a sending stone taped to his chest.
and all of a sudden no one is talking to him. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's hear more about those potions and where they came from.
Hey, Crispy, who's supplying you? Yeah, he's walking around, making the rounds, shaking hands. Yeah. Hey, is that? I'm sorry to do this to you again, Harlan, and I'm trying not trying
come
to
on.
sidetrack us here in the
Hit one
closing
that
moments.
I know. Hit one that I know. Come on.
Is that widower with the mohawk here, who we
He doesn't
also
have a
last
mohawk.
saw?
He has spiked green hair, and his name is
Spiked.
Felix.
Green hair, yes,
Felix
Felix.
has
Remember
spiked
Felix?
hair, huh?
Yeah, and if you look at the stream as well, I'll pull up the art for him too because I'm prepared for this one.
I was gonna say I drew him completely wrong.
No, he does not. But Andrew
Oh,
points
no, I
deducted
guess
from
not.
your obscure polls here because he doesn't have a mohawk. But yeah, I'm gonna have you not roll a perception check to say he walks up to you, and you see him holding a staff, and he still has this like plate armor that has like you can tell where he's like buffed out the widower sigil, but you know enough to know where it was and that this is definitely the make of like
We
the
know where
widower's before. And he
you've
walks
been.
up and he's like, "Hey, glad to see you're still alive."
Hey there, Felix. Yeah, you too. How's everything been here on Jadorian?
Beats working for Ventress.
Yeah. Well, we actually ran into Ventress briefly inside the Azure Forge.
How'd that
I
go?
don't know if you heard. I mentioned it earlier with a pretty cool speech.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, good to know. You could take the bard out of the widowers, but you can't take. I don't know. He's like, I'm not. That's not my job. He says.
Yeah, I'll cheers him and just kind of keep strolling around.
He goes, "Hey, I started a magic school." He says, like in a real like he was hoping you would ask way, but you didn't. So before you walk,
It's called
off.
Warthogs.
right. Is this like sleight of hand or
No.
spells?
and he casts prestidigitation in his hand, and, like makes some sparks, and he's like, "No, I've been trying
Cast lightning bolt.
Fries 3 guys at the
Some
party.
poor goblin.
Oh, is that so?
I used, I was a widower, and I used the magic that I knew to just get whatever I could. And now that I'm kind of here and I've lost everything and had some people really take care of me, I've been trying to, I don't know, help."
Well, that's good of you, Felix.
I'm not a
can I do
bad guy,
An,
he says.
an insight roll on his little redemption
Sure, yeah.
story here. That's a 27.
Yeah, he's
He's on the up and up.
absolutely, and he looks pathetic a little bit. Like he's really ashamed of the fact that he used to be a widower, especially in a world where so much is falling apart, and he
Jub.
understands the widower's piece of it, and he sees how respected that you are and how far you have come, and he's very much like, he's like, I'm trying to just turn.
Maybe I'll stop by your school and you could teach me something.
I mean, whatever you can stop by and teach the kids something. I mean, I'll learn from you too. He says, like, trying to be humble and just doing a very
Totally
bad
blowing
job.
it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Did I know that he was particularly skilled in magic when I knew him? That was his calling card. He was a pyromancer.
Yeah, you can roll a history check. Absolutely.
Oh, that's right. He had green fire, as I recall, too.
17.
Yeah, he was a wizard. I mean, he had some sort of he got up in the ranks not because of his suave or his political skills or anything like that. He, in fact, was pretty unlikable as far as you knew him. And even when you all first met him, he saw his boss die in front of him, and he immediately flipped sides to your side because he was just like, "This is like, here's the move, guys. Here's how we play this." And so he's definitely an opportunist, but he seems very earnest in this moment too.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And he definitely does have magical ability.
Okay, cool. That's what I thought. Yeah, I'll ask him where his school is in Jadorian.
Yeah, it's just on the second outer ring. I just got like a nice dome, he says. And there's a lot of kids that they want to help. Everybody wants to help. He says it's awesome. So much of this community just wants to like.
That's good, because I think we're gonna need every bit we can get.
Well, you can. He says and nods. He was like, Are you still thinking about going? Last time we talked, I gave you the coordinates, that teleportation circle, the runes, the teleportation
Arc.
circle.
Right.
On the Arc.
I've still got them.
It's like, you're not going to do that, right?
What, go on the Arc using those runes?
Yeah.
What? Why not?
Because, like, it's a lot of beholders. That's, the Jadoran has done reconnaissance around their takeover of the palace of the Skull Goblin King, and it's like, do you know what's going on? You all been gone for months.
Bits and pieces, but what am I missing?
There's a lot of beholders in there, so we thought Powerface was just a rogue and just like powerful in him, but he's organized them. He's organized the beholders, and so if you take on Powerface, you're not taking on Powerface. You're taking on an army of beholders. So I just want to make sure that's been communicated to me, as I've been asked to do some, help here, and so I just want to make sure I'm trying to look out for you, kind of like widower to widower. I mean,
No, not neat.
No, yeah, sorry, that felt wrong. But I'm not
Ex widower to widower.
Yeah.
Hey, quantities being relative. What's a lot of beholders anyway? 5? 10?
30, 50.
What do you call a group of beholders?
Yikes.
An eyeful.
Beholden.
Well, I guess we probably won't be sneaking aboard that ship anytime soon, but it's nice to know we've got that secret back door if we need it.
He nods. He's like, people, a lot of what's holding this place together, a lot of the optimism is you all. So, as from one ex-widower to another, I've seen the leaders go down, and how quickly the rats scurry. And he says, like, gesturing to himself. And he's like,
Right. And you know a lot about the Ark, right? That ship?
Totally, yeah.
Powerface's ship?
I piloted it a couple
get
of times. Yeah.
If you come up with any ideas on, I don't know, how we could sabotage it or destroy it outright, you just let me know.
Yeah, he says, he's like, yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, good seeing you, Felix. I'm gonna turn in early, I think.
Yeah, because he says, nice. You're a good guy, he says, looking you right in the eyes.
I'll kind of stop awkwardly and be like,
Hey, you're a good guy now too, Felix.
Roll an insight roll a persuasion or deception check, either one.
I think I do believe. I mean, I was a little cagey at first because him also being an ex-widower. But I think in chatting with him, I kind of came around. So this would be a persuasion, 13.
I got an 11. So he nods at you and he goes, hey. Thank you. And nods and walks off. Cool. You all see Flute kind of like joins back up with you, drinking some hot tea. Anybody want to do anything else?
Over the course of the evening, while everybody was doing their stuff, I think after K.A.I walked through town and that guy tried to sell me coke, and I wound up in front of the that sort of like workshop hangar area. I will sort of stand and watch them work inside for a couple of minutes. And then I'll head inside and find whoever is in charge and ask for them to set aside a place for me to work. And I'm going to give them a list of materials that I need. Just like raw materials I need to work, and I'm going to get to work.
Yeah, you see this very broad-shouldered Tohr-Kreen, and she walks up to you, and as you kind of like wander in, she's like, "Whoa, are you K.A.I? I recognize you.
K.A.I.
I know that you are. I'm just asking to be polite."
That's fine. I appreciate it. I'm K.A.I. Hammerstein, the Dinger.
I'm Tritholic. I took over for Piss Cricket, PC.
Tritholic.
Yeah. And
Seems like you're all doing great work here.
yes, yeah. Well, I've been working on the designs that we haven't cracked the Tchotchke ship yet, but we do have the Githka ship down. She says, like,
They
gesturing.
look great. I have a lot that I need to do, as you do, and I could use a place to work. And if there's any way that I could requisition some raw materials, if you can't find everything on this list, that's all right. But whatever you can find or can spare, I need.
Kreen can't whistle, but she lets out this like deep, long hum.
This horrible scream.
She lets out a psychic scream.
And you see everyone in this workshop kind of like turns, and you can see now that there's like lots of different folks. It's not just like Kreen in here too that are kind of like attend to her, and she speaks out in Kreen, which you would understand as well. That
I understand.
She says like, hey, this is K.A.I. This is the K.A.I. And there's some gasps and like claps and stomps as well, some chirps, a little bit of clicks as well. And,
One scream.
Yeah,
Hello, everyone.
One scream. That's from this gnome in the back. And you... they all kind of like move, and a few of them like come down from their different stations to look at the list that you have presented to her, and she nods, and they all kind of like go off to gather these things, and she looks like she's like, absolutely. She's like, you can use my workstation over here, and you see just like a Spelljammer helm with like 4 like 30-foot long blades sitting next to it that with like all the scrap metal around it as well. She's like, you can use my workstation if you'd like. And she says, also, I have a bit of a personal question for you.
All right.
What kind of ship do you think that Klik would want? Because we have this Githka ship that and she gestures over to a Githka ship that is sitting right next to her workstation that we've just left sitting empty because we want it to be Klik ship, and we haven't furnished it or filled it in any way, and we were just wondering. I was just wondering if maybe I don't know if that's too rude of a personal of a question to ask, because I know how much you value creations and ships, and I value creations and ships, and it's it's hard. And she's like very nervously kind of like sputtering at this point. And she's like, "Do you think she would like it?"
She's going to love it.
Okay, well, would you mind telling her that if she wants us to fill it up with anything specific that we could. We have, you can see we have these slots here for 3 different weapons. We have lots of rooms. It's how we obviously have to have a spell jamming helm room, but there's just lots of options for it. Would you mind asking her for me?
It would be my pleasure.
And this like large, like this like broad-shouldered Tohr-Kreen is like, thank you. It is an honor. You are the reason that Kostcha exists.
What's that?
And
your the dungeon master.
Your ability kind of like starts to translate this as like they're using a Kreen word, but it's like a proper noun in like Kreen language too. So it just like takes you a second as well if you just never heard it before. But she's like, yeah, the Kostcha, the Kost, and like it starts to translate in your mind the Kostcha. And it means air death.
I speak Kreen.
And
air of death.
No, air death. And she
air death.
You realize that she is referring to the Jadorian Armada as this Kreen word that means air death, which is Koskcha.
Hell yeah.
Air death?
Air death.
Fuck yeah.
Thanks.
That's what I say. I
episode
say,
title.
fuck yeah.
I appreciate that.
Air death.
I literally tried to think of the most metal thing I could, and that's what I got.
She's going to love it.
But yeah,
And
you
I
have
look
this
forward
workstation
to,
now too. Absolutely.
Great.
Reminder that we did yoink a spell jamming helm.
Yes, we did. We have an extra. And, yeah, I will, start sort of laying the framework for a number of pieces of work that K.A.I wants to accomplish.
I love it. I love zooming out to end the episode on like you going to work. Like Kai's just like body
Kai's-
unfolding a little bit and grabbing
Kai's
all
gonna
of the tools.
concentrate on the only thing he can control.
Cool. All right. Well, I think we should end our session here then, as you all have safely and softly landed in Jadorian. And it seems like all is well here. And there's a lot of folks who have been working hard since you left. Yeah.
Yay!
Yay!
Back on the material plane, finally.
We are living in a material plane.
And I am a material plane.
Cheeseburgers. Material. Roller coasters.
Jordan, I just realized we didn't even get to the art reveal tonight. I got so.
It's okay. I was thinking
Where
about
is
it,
Jordan?
but that means we've got it.
I truly
You have
me too, at the
disappeared
break,
into the
I was like,
moon.
I can't wait to do
Disappeared.
it.
There you
and
are.
Are
then-
you not here anymore?
I
I
got
No,
got
you're
you
here
back
now.
now. There's something going on. I thought that the moon behind you was a mushroom cloud.
Kind of a
And I was
downer.
confused by
Yeah,
that.
you vanished. Your special effect ate you for a while.
Very strange.
You're
Yeah,
in
no
deep
worries.
background.
I was thinking about that same thing, but it's that just means we got a good one in the tank.
in the tank, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Slap it.
Well, we
Slap
started
it.
to cross some stuff off the list. We've begun to. We've started Moonboy's hat. We are finally dealing with.
Yeah, we're gonna find a weird field to blast
Oh,
that thing
I
open.
cannot
in.
wait to do that scene.
Just
all
hold it over a
Mythbusters.
toilet.
But
Just
that is
hold it
it was
over a
kind of like a
toilet,
secret to
let it
that too,
fly.
is that you just have to get out of it's just a back pile of these creatures.
Yeah.
Moon Girl is applying to. So.
It's gonna be a gout of hedgehogs.
Your hat's a little.
Just
it's
a
just
deluge of-
constipated.
Yeah,
Yeah,
geckos.
it's gonna be a hedgehog hose.
Gonna have to give you a hat enema.
Chili whispers.
I don't want it. I don't want it.
Flush you out.
Oh no, please no.
Speaking of which, check out our new sticker, and we also have a mug version of this, of the Drink Pee sticker. Please explain it to your parents. You know?
You know what? I think
We have
don't.
other ones
First,
too.
first, just send it in the mail to them.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Just
Don't
send
worry
it.
about explaining it to your parents. You'll be explaining it to HR plenty.
The funniest thing
And don't
about
worry.
it is it says better than heroes drink pee.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
We're good at what we do.
Those are
Branding.
just the words that are on it, which I didn't realize until right now.
It's incredible.
Don't
We
worry,
sure
we have more
do. See you
branded
next
piss
week.
merch on the way.
All right. Reminder, you can listen to the show as a podcast if you'd like as well. We also have one more spot left in our Patreon game that we play once a month that Aaron runs.
do?
That is it is in game. It is in
7
a play.
people in there right now, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot
I played
of
a game yesterday and it was great.
I heard. I saw the chat go up a
Nice.
little bit. It was great. And yeah, you can also just check out our Later Than Heroes episodes as well. That if you are a $10 Patreon level member, we talk about the show after the show. So we record those, we talk about those, and you can listen to us talk about the game outside of the game as well if you are just hungry for more content. We also, Better Than Heroes as a channel as well, has been running this Duster podcast that Aaron and Jordan are both characters in as well. It's a game that Andrew created. You can get a hardcover version of the book, but if you want to listen to it as a podcast, you can. Pat and Oswald tweeted about the book.
Hey, partner. You can hear me say stuff like that. Hey, fella.
Yeah.
Drink.
I would say
There it is.
A
Yeah, I've
story's
got a
really
bunch of
popping
games in
off there,
stock
too.
in the Occupied Hex store. So if you want any print copies of games, this is a great time to get them because they may never come around again.
Hell yeah.
Duster rules, and you should buy it.
Duster
Get
really
it.
rules. I know somebody too who was like who does not play TTRPGs and then was just looking at the book and was like, they bought the book and they were like excited about it and they were telling me that they were looking through like the art and this is just so cool, just like alone by itself is
That's how it starts.
yeah, exactly. I know.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And then you learn too much about beholder culture and you have opinions about why one beholder is in charge. So that's the downward slope. Cool. All right. Anybody have anything else before we get out of here?
That's it for me. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. All right. See you next week.
Bye. Later.
Bye.
Bye.
Drinkers.
Stargazer, Moonboy, Klik, the Crusher, K.A.I, Humbly Chef, and the Windrider, Flute, Whimteaser. They're better than he.